Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live Call-In Show. I am your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Sunday, June the 4th. And, man, we've got a great show for you. We've got a lot of news to talk about. And here to do it with me to talk about it all is Mr. Jhead, Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
All right, look at old Cole down there, old Four Eyes.
I got the heavy glare going on. Y'all just gonna have to bear with me, man. I'm waiting on my contacts to come in.
Who are you, brother? I expect you to have, like statements where you're up at least 40 IQ points tonight, brother. You look like a smart.
Okay, all right. Well, hold me to it. Hold me to it.
And not even close second.
Let's see. We've got official visitors to talk about. We've got potential commitment. I thought we would have already done by now to talk about official visits being set. And we will get to it all. Of course, we want to go to the phone lines as soon as possible. So if you've got a question, give us a call to 701-779-9585. And until we get to that point, Auburn has had at least two guys now have finished up official visits. Wyatt Simmons, the linebacker from Arkansas, and then Chancellor Anthony, the JUCO DB from Tyler, Texas. Both of those guys have left campus. Cole, feeling pretty good about both of those guys. One, a 2023 kid, the JUCO kid, late edition 2023. Wyatt Simmons, the 2024 linebacker. Feeling good about both of them. You talked to each, I believe, after their visits.
Yeah, I actually feel a little bit better about Champ Anthony right now, which I think we all can agree that one's pretty much a done deal. It just seemed like it was from the beginning. As soon as we heard his name, it was like, yeah, that one's happening. Now, Wyatt Simmons, that one is interesting. I was pretty confident for Auburn at one point. I think Clemson kind of knocked it out of the park, if we're being honest. Now, you're going to have the Josh Aldridge connection going for him. That's going to be big, and he told us that in the interview. But I don't know, man. He is, don't consider this guy an unranked guy or a low 3-star. He is the real deal. Everybody wants him, and Clemson's not going to be the last one that takes a big swing at him. So Auburn's got some competition here.
Wyatt Simmons went to Clemson after this. I think he's got another official visit scheduled later this month. Can't remember
Arkansas.
Who that was. Arkansas. That's right. In-state.
He had Texas, and I don't know if that's going to happen now. I think it may happen later, but Arkansas for sure.
Arkansas. In town right now, you've got 5-star Alabama commitment athlete Jalen Mbakwe. You've got Arkansas. Is TJ Lindsey from Arkansas?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. He's
IMG in Florida now, but he's an Arkansas kid. TJ Lindsey, defensive lineman. Who else is here, folks? Jalen Mbakwe, TJ Lindsey.
And our main man from Mississippi.
Oh, Mr. Jamonte Waller.
Yeah.
Big dog, top 100 player. I think 24/7 has him as a 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that right, Jhead?
I don't believe so. I think he's a high 4. I don't think he's a 5 on 24/7, but industry-wide, he is a blue-chip caliber prospect on the edge. That's an impact position and a position we need to fill sooner rather than later. So always big when you have a player of his caliber at that position on campus.
We've got a lot to talk about, folks. Wanted to tell you, man, right now is the perfect time to get that house on the market. It really is. I know it's probably not the best time to buy, but it's certainly the best time to sell. And if you're looking to sell in Auburn or Opelika in Lee County, give her a call, folks. Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. She can find your house, but man, I'm telling you what, you talk about a seller's agent. She is a 5-star, son. Give her a call. Tell her we sent you. Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. She's fantastic. Really, really, really good. You need to find something or need to get rid of something. Hey, I've got had a request today to get the show started. I think there was another one on the corner. It was talking about the wide receivers. Nick Marsh, the 4-star from Michigan, committed to Penn State. We weren't surprised by that after hearing the things that we heard last week. I had a let me find it. Maybe I hid it back in my I know what it was. It was about the Cal game, the second game of the season, right?
Oh,
and it was Clail Rides with Cadillac, a dude from Twitter, man. He sent me. He said, "Good morning, Jeffrey. Tonight's show, you guys spend some time on the importance of the game against the University of Cal, and I thought, sure, but and listen, I line up perfectly with him. I believe it's far more important to win the game because of how bad it would look the loss would, right?
Yeah, it would.
And especially when it pertains to recruiting and selling that vision. This is the second game of the year. You've got what? Stanford to kick off.
It's
not Stanford. It's
UMass.
Yes, it's
third game.
It's a basket. I mean, I didn't even know they had a football program at UMass. I mean, and which might be perfect to get the Hugh Freeze era at Auburn started. But that second game of the year, you're traveling across the country. You're going to Cal, and that's a game you really have to win because we've already counted it, folks. We're talking about 7 wins. We've all got 7 wins with Auburn right now, I think. And that's because and one of them is Cal.
One of them is Cal. I'm absolutely counting that game at this point. And here's the thing, Jeffrey, you're right. This is a perfect trap game as far as that's concerned because you're going out to the West Coast. You're playing late at night. This is a veteran Cal team that's coming back. Now they're running a new offensive scheme. I believe they just hired Texas State's former head coach, former offensive coordinator at Texas A&M there now, Jake Spavital. I believe he's the OC out there, so they're going to be running a little bit of a spread system, so a little bit of something new on tape. But you're right. On paper, Auburn should roll through that game, right? Like, there should be no question that
I don't know much about Cal, but I would just guess. I expect Auburn to beat a team of Cal every year.
Well,
unless they have Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, but they don't have didn't have Aaron Rodgers last year. They got a kid from TCU that's coming in that by way of the portal that's going to be their quarterback. You got Spavital coming in as the OC. And their head coach, Justin Wilcox, is a defensive-minded guy. He's been very good out on the West Coast with a series of various different schemes that he's utilized. So it's a tricky game, okay? But on paper, on talent, Auburn should go out there and win that game by a touchdown or a touchdown to 10 points.
Okay.
There's no way we shouldn't walk away. And if we don't, that is a major setback as far as Hugh being able to sell his vision. Now, I'm not trying to kneecap him. 4-8 last year, 2-7 in the Pac-12 in a watered-down Pac-12. Okay. Now, the Pac-12 is going to be better this year. They've got some of the better quarterbacks in all of college football. And you've got 4 teams in USC, Washington, Utah, and Oregon that all have an outside shot at probably one of the playoff teams. You know, the winner of the Pac-12, if they were to go undefeated, I could see very well them having a path to the playoff. But that being the case, I just can't imagine going into Berkeley and not walking away with that one with everything that's been amassed in the transfer portal. I mean, if we don't have the transfer portal haul that we've got,
sure,
then yeah, I could absolutely see where we could get beat. But given who we've brought in at this point, the talent base that we have, dude, if just an SEC team going out to the Pac-12 and getting rolled by Cal, that's just not a good look, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think that was his point, man, especially when it comes to recruiting. You go out there, you get a 10-point win. You look good. You've already rolled up, UMass. Was that who it is? The first?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, UMass.
Didn't they used to have good basketball teams back in the 90s?
Yeah, back when John Calipari was there, and Tony Barbee was actually a player at UMass.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
Zach in the back came to the front to tell us Cal was 4-8 last season, 4-8. So it's not like, they're on the ascension here. 2-7 in the Pac-12, did play USC close, only lost by a touchdown to them on the road. Whatever. But yeah, so Zach, that answers something. I don't know much about Cal. That answers me. So they're struggling right now.
Yeah, I think Wilcox is probably on his last year if they don't take a huge step forward.
They're that kind of program.
Well, I think because of the financial issues at Cal, Zach, he's going to get more time just because there is some real issues at that school as far as funding. Everything is concerned there. They are not in a good position to be able to hire anybody with any kind of a buyout.
They had an issue with the recruiting class. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that. And they only got like 12 guys in the whole class. And some people thought it was maybe an NIL problem and couldn't get. You're in California. You should be able to get 30 guys that are at least quality players. You know what I mean?
I would tell you that the university there all but shut that program down with COVID. And it was extremely strange how they handled that. Just a very very difficult situation for any coach to be in, and hat tip to Justin Wilcox for holding that together. Sure. But Cal is not a program that is financially invested at all.
I think they're still wearing masks to practice.
I have no idea, but I know.
I'm kidding, dude.
I know it's strange out there for sure, dude. Like they call extreme protocols.
At the same time, all of these reasons that we're talking about why Auburn should win makes that a scary game in a way, because it's weird anyway, having to go all the way to California, second game of the year, new head coach. There's some weird things going on. If you lose that game, though, it's not good. It's really not good. That is you need to be circling that one right now and going, we got to figure out how to make this look good and win this game, get everything rolling in that game, number one.
Now, I wonder, logistically speaking, if they're going to be able to go out there early to get accustomed to the time change, because you're talking about a 3-hour swing. So I wonder if they're going to get an advanced jump, if they'll be able to work that out through internet coursework or what have you, to get them out, on a Tuesday or something like that, so they can kind of get up to speed if they're going to do the normal Friday or Thursday travel.
Right. I don't know.
Okay, let me see real quick. Hey, Zach, get us to the phone, Big Dog. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's start here. 2457. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Sky Underwood.
Sky Underwood.
Yeah, from Birmingham. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
What's on your mind tonight, Sky?
Not too much, man. Jeffrey Lee saying that Cal's players are probably still wearing masks. It's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
And it's only partially a joke,
I believed it for a second.
It's crazy how true sometimes stuff like that can be. Breaking down the schedule, looking at the schedule, I know you guys, I would say the entire fan base, our expectations have changed with all the additions. And, I think Vegas had this as the over and under for total wins at 6.
6.5.
And I think taking over that is looking like a pretty good bet now.
Sure.
You got to feel good because as Auburn fans, our offensive line has been neglected for so long that we're like pinching ourselves, realizing that we may have a formidable offensive line this year because of the portal, because it seems like out of all positions, that position group improved the most. You would assume, and hopefully that results in more success for the offense. It's what's weird is I almost feel better about the offense going into the season than I do the defense. I do feel like the offense will look pretty good in 2023. What do you think, guys?
I completely agree with you, Sky. I think all of us collectively are a little bit more concerned about the defense, Jhead.
Definitely more concerned about the defensive line. That is my number one concern. I think we've shored up some things with linebacker. I like the guys that we've brought in. The young man from Ole Miss, as well as Larry Nixon. Like both of those guys to contribute right away. But I am a little bit scared about the defensive line. But I would tell you to temper expectation a little bit on the offensive line, just because that is a unit 100% that relies on cohesion. You're talking about 5 new pieces coming together. Not all the pieces were even fully healthy in spring. Cam Stutz was still coming off of an injury. Obviously, Jeremiah Wright was in and out of pads due to coming off of injury as well. This is a group that you're going to absolutely – and one of the pieces, the Tulsa transfer that just came in, wasn't even taking snaps. So this is a unit that's going to need to gel. You're going to get a good game in UMass to be able to work out some of the kinks. Another game in Cal where they should be able to get away with some things. When I looked over their roster, I don't see a scary edge player or somebody on the interior that's going to absolutely give you issues. So you get your first 3 games to kind of iron some things out. Don't be surprised if things look a little ugly at first while they're figuring that out, but they better have it figured out by the time we get to game number 4. That's for sure, because that's where the rubber meets the road. That's when you start your SEC conference play.
Is that at A&M?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have –
Yeah, I can see Cal being an ugly win, for example. It being early in the year and we have to travel all the way over there.
Yep.
So I know on paper we should probably beat them by 2 touchdowns, but who knows? But before I let you guys go, the show is kick-ass. It really is.
Appreciate you, brother.
And I'll hang up and listen. But if Auburn were to pull one big upset in 2023, who do you guys think it'll be against? Now, hang up. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you, Sky. That's a good question to leave us with, man. If there's going to be an upset, there's one upset. And listen, I think it's more likely to happen than not. Auburn beats somebody that they're not supposed to.
I got 2 of them.
Okay. Let's start with you, Jhead, while I ponder and maybe hitchhike off of your answer.
Now, I'm going to go with 2 of them. The first one's going to be Texas A&M. And
I knew that.
Because I just believe that situation is ripe for explosion. Okay. Even though Jimbo has recruited lights out, and they have some absolute swamp creatures / swamp monsters up front. I mean, it is no doubt a collection of just absolute freaks.
Yep.
But I do not like where that program's culture is. I don't like the trajectory of that program. They do have a great young quarterback coming back, but I think we'll do enough. Ron Roberts will do enough defensively to confuse them. I think schematically we won't have to have tipped our hand offensively. Mm-hmm. And while we are still fresh and while we are still healthy, I expect us to go into College Station and get a W. I think that one has a chance to be an upset. The other one is Ole Miss. I do not expect us to be predicted to win, even though it's in Jordan-Hare. I fully expect Ole Miss to be favored. They've done a really good job of collecting some offensive talent. Everything I've heard is that the quarterback room has come a long way for them in spring. But with the way Hugh Freeze will coach to win that game, with the way the Auburn fan base will turn out for that game, I expect Jordan-Hare to be just the way it was for A&M last year, where it's going to get you a win. That's one of those where JHS is going to show up and it's just going to make it difficult. But those are the 2 that I've circled. Now watch, we'll turn around and lose 2 that we're not supposed to, because that's just the way this happens. Yeah. But those are the 2 that I got penciled in as upset victories for me.
Cole?
Alabama.
Go!
Hey, listen, I'm sitting here contemplating it in my head, Cole.
I've been thinking about this one. I think I looked at the line today. It's somewhere around 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Bama.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you take that? I mean, think about it. Think about the way it went in 2021 with Brian Harsin as the head coach.
Yep.
TJ Finley hobbled.
Yep.
Offense was really stagnant. I mean, not much going on with the offense. Jordan-Hare Stadium and a ridiculous pass rush in that game kept Auburn in it. And I'll tell you what, I really think that Jalen McLeod, we're talking about the end of the season here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen McLeod's going to be, ready to roll on that one. I think Keldrick Falk will be starting to move in there and getting used to things. I think Deron Reed is a young guy. Marcus Harris is a veteran who played really well against Alabama in 2021. I think there's a lot of things there, not to mention it's an odd year, 2023.
Yep.
2013, 2017, 2019. And it's at Auburn again, and that causes problems for Bama. It just seems to. And I don't know why. I can't give you a reason why, but that's my pick, man. I think that one could happen.
All right. I'm going with A&M because of the reasons that Jay had mentioned. It's early in the year. Auburn hasn't shown anything relatively healthy, should be. Cole, and I'm going to throw in Bama on that, and for all the reasons you mentioned. Plus, like Gus Malzahn, Hugh Freeze has Saban's number somewhat, right?
When he's when he's got the horses, when he's got the wide receivers, because that is how you beat Alabama. It's elite wide receiver play.
Yeah.
You confuse that sometimes with elite quarterback play. It's elite wide receiver play. You think about the games that they've dropped and guys have shown. Look no further than Steven Garcia getting drunk at halftime and coming out hot and throwing to, Alshon Jeffrey. Steven Garcia doesn't play a game like that the rest of his career, and he beats Alabama with some ridiculous catches by Alshon. And then the list goes, Ole Miss, when they won those games, it was big-time wide receiver play with Quan Treadwell on the outside. That is how you beat them, with the way they play match coverage, okay? So if we are where we need to be from the RPO standpoint in that vertical passing game, then I'm with you. I think we can give them some problems. Can we beat them? I don't know, man, because, look, in that game, you're right, Cole. TD Moultrie and Derek Hall ate all game long. TD played out of his mind. That was absolutely the best I've ever seen him play.
It sure was. I forgot about that.
And I didn't even talk about, Alabama. They kind of – I was thinking about this. An Alabama fan, most Alabama fans in their lifetime, in their 20s, have not seen bad quarterback play.
No, they haven't.
And I'm not saying they're going to have bad quarterback play.
Right.
They're probably going to have good quarterback play. But will it be to the level that, where Bryce Young is saving games for them?
Absolutely.
Is it going to be to that level?
No.
I don't know. I can't say yes or no, but it doesn't seem like it. And if that's the case, and you're towards the end of the season and Peyton Thorne is your quarterback and you got a couple more receivers, offense is humming a little bit, that defense that we're a little bit worried about comes along, you got the crowd behind you. Jeremy Garrett likes to, he likes them to go. He likes them to go and be aggressive. I just like the way it's shaping up, and it is June. Let's talk about that too. But we got a long way to go. But I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with me here.
Auburn is undefeated against Alabama in June.
Yeah.
Every June. Auburn
absolutely.
And my expectation is that Alabama will take the air out of it a little bit. I think they're going to go back to a 2010 style offense where they're going to pound the ball a little bit. I think you're going to see more Greg McElroy type quarterback play than you're going to see with what you've seen from Tua Tagovailoa and obviously the young man that Bryce Young. So my expectation is they're not going to lean on the quarterback to win that game. They're going to try to pound the rock at Auburn. That's what they're going to try to do. And we'll see how we match up and can we hold up against the run.
And if I were picking another one, Jhead, I'd go with you on Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me just throw this in there too. There was a lot of controversy around the official visit for Jalen Mbakwe this weekend.
Sure.
The 5-star Alabama commit. We saw a lot of people on our boards going, don't use that OV on that guy. He's not going. He's going to Bama. Whether you agree with it or not, Hugh Freeze is going to attack Bama whenever he gets the chance. That's his style. You can disagree with it. You can agree with it. It worked for him at Ole Miss. Okay.
What are you saying? Like, no matter what, he's going after Bama and whatever.
If he has a chance to get under their skin or take a shot at them or attack, not in a dirty way or anything like that.
Make them work a little bit harder.
Correct. Sure. Lose some sleep at night. He's going to do it. I promise. I have learned that enough in my observation of him since being at Auburn.
Okay.
So, and like we talked about in the transfer portal era, what happens if he gets to Alabama in a year from now? He's like, you know what? I'm not feeling it, or I don't love the depth chart, or what have you. And you've got this guy at Auburn that sold out to recruit you just a year ago. And come on over. And they just changed those transfer deadlines, so it doesn't even have to be by February 1, brother.
Ooh, that's going to be fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You're going to be listening to a lot of tampering.
That's what I like.
A lot of what Lane people would call pre-portaling.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Pre-portaling.
Zach, do we have some phones?
Yeah, we got 3 callers.
Okay.
6848. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Bryce from Beulah.
Oh, Bryce.
BB.
Yeah. Been a couple of weeks, fellas.
We've been missing you, Bryce. What's on your mind tonight, big dog?
Yeah, I got 2 quick questions, and I'll just kind of let y'all chew on it and all that. And I know this is a recruiting show, but, again, it's still June like you guys are talking about. So I just want to talk about, with all this kind of conference realignment, I saw Colorado is like actively trying to get out of the Pac-12 right now and get into the Big 12 and, just all this different talk. I wanted to get you guys' opinion. The first question, let's just say 2030, which is 7 seasons from now. Wow. How many teams are in the SEC? And then 2, if it is going to be 2 or 4 new ones coming in, who would you guys like to kind of see? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you call, Bryce. That has Jhead's name written all over it.
Bryce, I would tell you, and I still want your guys' opinion, but I would tell you that it depends on what the TV network is willing to pay. I think right now what you saw at SEC Media Days was SEC teams wanting to know, is ESPN going to pay up for a 9th conference game? And if they're unwilling to come up with an extra $5 million per team for an extra conference game, are they really going to start stretching their budget even more? Is that budget finite? I mean, is there a limit to it? I think we're finally starting to see that. You know what I mean? Yes, you're probably going to be expanding into new media markets, and maybe that creates new opportunities. But the dollar is not limitless. So unless it's going to be able to retain the same amount that each team's getting paid out, I don't see them adding anybody, not anytime soon anyway. Now, if they do add someone, I would expect them to expand into North Carolina. I think that is who they have their eye on because of the Charlotte market. I would expect UNC to be a very big target, maybe NC State because of the Raleigh market. That's also another big set of eyeballs. And then beyond that, if you're looking for 2 more, I think the natural footprint would probably provide Florida State and Clemson. Those would be the 4 that I think that the SEC would target. I think they probably line up, idealistically speaking, same values, you know what I mean, like SEC type priorities. I can see that being kind of a good match. But I'm really interested to see how much ESPN is willing to bite off. We don't have multiple media partners anymore. It used to be CBS and ESPN both being able to contribute. Right now, we're all underneath that Disney umbrella. So how much does Disney want to pay up for another team? That's what I don't know. And I guarantee you, nobody in the SEC is looking to take a pay cut. We're not going to be like, hey, yeah, we'll expand, but and we'll take less money to do it. Nah, that's not how that works, man. That's why you got the advantage you got right now.
Good stuff, Jhead.
To counter that, Jhead, what school, what head coach would want in the SEC? Which one do you think would really try to push and get in the SEC if they had the chance?
No question, Mike Norvell from Florida State. They're already trying to get out of the ACC, and Dabo Swinney from Clemson. Those are the 2 that are begging to get out. I think Mario Cristobal from Miami would absolutely want out, but I think they're probably looking at the Big Ten, and I think the Big Ten is licking their chops looking at that media market.
Yeah. Crazy.
I know we focus on football a lot, but if UNC comes, if you think the SEC wouldn't take Duke without even thinking about it, that's correct. They would want that basketball rivalry because regardless of the market, that game alone, just in basketball revenue, would be insane.
Oh, I agree, Zach. I think that there would absolutely be the appetite there for 2 Carolina schools. Which 2 they are, I'm thinking Raleigh just because of the media market and the football contribution. But you're right. Duke would be another one that you could look at and say, okay,
man,
this is a team that's willing to take the L in football, and you got to have those, right, in every conference.
Sure.
And he also contributes something to the basketball aspect of it.
Vanderbilt's the same way.
I'd be fired up for that Vandy Duke football game, man.
I would. Vanderbilt damn sure would.
Yeah.
SEC wants to look better academically anyway.
Yeah.
How do you increase the academic footprint too? UNC and Duke are no slouches in terms of academics either. So that would be another positive outside of football.
No, what do you call it? It's the AAU or what is it? The accreditation that all the Big Ten schools have, and that's why they kind of have a rigid outlook from an academic side of things. But anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole. If somebody's playing the Jhead drinking game, rabbit hole's been utilized. Go ahead and take a swig. But yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot. I would probably not think that Virginia would be a target for us. I don't see Virginia Tech. I just don't think they bring that much, even though they got that DC market there. I just don't think they bring enough in basketball or football, and that's where this is going. If it's not driving revenue sports, then realistically, I don't think the SEC has much interest there. We're not looking to go pick up a Rutgers like the Big Ten did a couple of years ago. Yeah, they're taking the L, but that's like an ugly, ugly L. But anyway, go ahead.
Good stuff, Bryce. We appreciate your call, man. Keep us rolling there, Zach.
8861. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from Winter, Alabama.
Oh, Kevin. What's going on, Kevin? What's on your mind tonight, buddy?
Demarcus, Riddick, and Cam Coleman.
I hear you. We can always count on Kevin. And this is a prime time to get both of their updates, Kevin. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, we've already confirmed tonight, Chad Simmons at on 3 confirmed. And listen, we knew Cam Coleman had said back in May that he was probably going to come for June 12th through the 14th for an official visit. I actually said I wouldn't be surprised if he visits, but I don't think it will be an official visit. Well, I was wrong. According to him, he told Chad Simmons it will be an official visit to Auburn on June the 12th and the 14th. That's the same day as Red Morgan, and that's also the same day as Jaden Lewis and a couple of more guys. And Jhead, you think maybe another guy could be added to that list?
I think that could be Demarcus Riddick. I think we could see him on campus that same time period. So we're gonna cross our fingers on that one, and we'll see what shakes out. But I think there's a likelihood that Demarcus Riddick is on campus sooner rather than later.
That June 12th, and that's I think that's a Monday, isn't it?
It is. It's
midweek. Yeah,
Monday through Wednesday, I believe, is when these guys are coming. So they're going to have a big weekend next weekend, Friday through Sunday. And listen, I don't know if you caught on this or not, but Cole, I think we talked about it on the phone the other day. But Hugh Freeze is not afraid to work on Sunday. Don't get me wrong, but he prefers not to. We all know his religious background, his strong belief in his faith. If he can help it, he doesn't want to work on Sundays, and he doesn't want the people around him to work on Sundays. So if you can bring guys in on Saturday and have them leave on Monday morning, like he's doing with the 3 guys that are here now, Jamonte Waller, the other 2 guys that who are
TJ Lindsey.
They're all leaving Monday morning. Nobody left today except for the JUCO kid. Didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
One kid left. So if you're going to have guys coming in on the 10th through the 12th and the 12th through the 14th, you're going to have official visit guys all week long. Kevin, but to answer your question, Cam Coleman, June the 12th to the 14th, we think Demarcus Riddick will be there as well. We've yet to confirm, but we're working on that. Both of those guys, June 12th to the 14th, another big couple of days, visits during those days.
$5810. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Fellas, Anthony from Montgomery.
Hey, Anthony.
All right.
What's on your mind tonight, Anthony?
Quick question. What do you guys have for our first offensive line and defensive line commit? That's all I got. I hang up and listen.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Cole. I didn't hear him.
He asked who would be the first offensive line and defensive line commits in this class.
Ooh, I got my 2. Go ahead, Cole.
I think I'm leaning towards Reese Baker for offensive line. Or
what about your boy
Jameson Riggs?
What about your boy John Wayne Oliver?
I don't see that one happening.
Yeah.
What if he comes and blows it up tomorrow?
He might.
He
and that's why they want him to camp. So there's a chance.
Okay. All right. I don't think it's going to be him, but I'm just saying, shit like that has happened before. A kid comes in, Auburn's, maybe have offered him, but they were in his top 3 with TCU and Georgia Tech, I believe. Was that the 2 teams?
Yes.
TCU and it was Ole Miss. Yeah,
Ole Miss,
and
that's where I figure he's going to land. But I think it's going to be Caleb Holmes. It's going to be the first offensive line commit. I think he's looking to do something probably front end of July, from what I've been able to read elsewhere. And then also Malik Blockton will be your first defensive line commitment. I think those are going to be the 2 to lead the way there.
There you go. Anthony, I'm probably I would imagine you're pretty familiar with Malik Blockton, the defensive lineman from Pike Road up in your neck of the woods. I think so. I mean, we thought this kid had been wanting to commit for a long time. I mean, if the gates were open at Jordan-Hare Stadium last year, the kid was in it. Yeah. And hell, if the doors were open to the facility this summer, this spring, this off season, he's been in it. He's been he's here. And we weren't sure if Auburn was ready to take him. And maybe that's why it was why he was not committed already.
Could be.
It could be that, right?
It could be that. I just don't know enough about his recruitment to say why. I do know that he's interested in visiting Florida and Texas, and then I think he'll probably be visiting or camping at Auburn during the month of June. And then maybe you could probably see a commitment sometime in the month of July would be my expectation. I think
Have you seen his top group of schools, Jhead?
Listen, it's as good a top group as you're going to find.
He gave me an unofficial top 3.
Okay.
It's very unofficial. This is not something he's going to put out there, but Auburn, Florida, Texas.
Yep.
And you're talking about Bo Davis is the defensive line coach at Texas, and he really loves him and is pushing for him. And I think the push from Texas and the push from Florida is why Auburn went, let's go ahead and make it.
Yeah. Let's not lose that on this kid, right?
Yeah, right.
Correct.
He's got Alabama, Georgia, Texas.
They have a good chance. Let me put it that way.
Clemson, all these schools in his top 10. And I'm going, how many of these could he commit to? Maybe he can commit to all 10. I don't know. But
for sure, Auburn, Texas, and Florida. And if those are your peer schools that you're recruiting against and competing against, that's a take-worthy guy, in my opinion.
Well, there's two kind of guys Auburn's got to get, right? You got to get those statement wins, and you got to get those in-state recruits from going to the out-of-state schools.
Correct.
The Tennessees, the Texas, the Floridas. You got to keep that from happening in Florida states, and he would be that guy. I bet Arkansas likes him. I bet T. Will likes him.
I suspect he does.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I think T. Will recruited Montgomery when he was here.
He did.
That might be Cadillac, though. Might have been Cadillac.
I think it was Kevin Steele's area. He had pressure down to Montgomery.
There you go.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I think Zach was over there as well at Carver.
Yes. Yeah, Zach has handled Montgomery, I think, predominantly.
Right.
I think Montgomery to Troy is Zach territory.
Yeah.
He's from Charles Henderson, right?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Zach, are we called up?
Yeah, all called up for now.
Excellent. Hey, if y'all got any more questions, man, we'll have the phone lines open for another 15 or 20 minutes. 701-779-9585. Cole, I wanted to talk to you about, I think we all agree that Chancellor Anthony, the JUCO defensive back from Texas, just left his official visit this morning. He said he's probably going to have some news. We're all expecting him to commit and be the final Jhead scholarship guy, 84-85, right?
Correct. I think that puts us I think that's 83 guys, with us also retaining the 2 walk-ons that earned scholarships the past year, Jake Levon and Sean Jackson. I think they are going to be retained on scholarship, which would put you to 85, contingent on any attrition that you might have between now and the start of the year.
Yep.
And look, we can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow.
I wonder, where did this guy come from? Like, we know he's the backup for Dumas, right? The guy who wanted to commit last week and did some background on him, and there was a red flag that Hugh Freeze didn't like and decided not to take Dumas. So you bring in this kid a week later, and I'm going, well, let me check out his JUCO stats, man. This guy
I can tell you where it came from.
Okay.
I made a connection today with him. So he plays for, and I cannot remember his name, but he's the head coach at Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas. Mm-hmm. Tanner Jacobson is his name. And he was a BYU defensive back. Okay. But he was also coaching at Snow College.
Keontae.
There you go.
And you may have seen Keontae put out he put something out.
Closer.
Last night. Yeah, something like that. So they have a prior relationship. I think Keontae was like, hey, man, I know this guy, this guy at Tyler, Texas is blowing it up.
So you think but he didn't. He only played in 4 games last year.
He only played in 4 games, but the buzz about him during the spring has been crazy. Like,
they
knew they were fixing to lose him because he was fixing to leave. Like, he's getting offers. BYU jumped in, a couple of others. He was like, he actually told us today, he was like, man, I went to Tyler because I didn't like some of my offers. I wanted an SEC offer. He said he felt like if he played a few games in JUCO, SEC would come calling. He felt like he had those kind of skills. And he's fast. I'll give you that. Not a big guy. Probably right at 6 foot. But work. Interesting. And I think he could help at safety. I really do.
Well, I tell you what, he has been fantastic to work with. He is so grateful for the coverage that we've provided him in his recruitment. He is the type of kid that I wish they all were when it comes to the media. Thank you for covering me, Mr. Lee. I appreciate your interest in my recruitment. And listen, I don't care if he's just saying that to be saying it. That means a lot, man. I appreciate it. And
he was great today, and his parents, they were all into it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I mean, he didn't come out and say he was going to Auburn, but he's like, maybe get ready for some news later, that kind of thing. So,
yeah. Zach, you got us another one?
Oh yeah, you got the call lines buzzing now.
Good. They forgot the number. I had to tell them the number.
Yeah. 1753. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Frederick 90 from South Mississippi.
Big dog!
Frederick 90. Welcome to
my goodness.
What do we owe this honor, Big Dog? For those that don't know,
you guys live.
well, good. For those that don't know, Frederick 90 is a well-known poster on our message board, the Corner Auburn Live message board. Got some connections down there in the south of the state, southern tip of the state, southern portion of the state, and usually has some really good tea to spill on some of the recruits down there. Wouldn't you say that's fair?
Fantastic.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So Frederick, what's up? Talk to us tonight, Big Dog.
I got 4 questions for y'all.
Oh, I thought you had answers.
I got a little answer, but I ain't gonna put that out there just yet.
Okay.
Right, I hear you on that one.
All right. The first question is have y'all confidence lowered in Phillips? And the second question is, how do y'all feel about Javonte Waller?
Mm-hmm.
I already know about their recruitment. I just want to hear y'all input. And do y'all have any update up on Waterboy, the linebacker from Theodore, Alabama?
What was his name?
The kid from Theodore.
Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy.
Is his name really Waterboy?
I know they call him Waterboy. I just can't think of the name.
From Theodore.
Cam Pruitt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You asked me about him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I just want to know if y'all had an update on him.
And then what was your fourth one, Frederick?
The fourth question is, how many O-line and D-line do we plan on taking this class?
Okay. Yeah. Let's break this down. Stay with us, Frederick. Listen, fellas, Joe Phillips went to Georgia this weekend. Listen, Frederick, Cole and Jhead, y'all have your own opinion. He's Auburn until he's not, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's Auburn until it's not. That's just how I'm riding out his recruitment. I'm not listening to the noise. I'm not listening to how his visit went. I'm not listening to the insiders over here at Clemson or the insiders over here at Georgia or wherever at LSU. In my opinion, and this goes for Alabama commitments too, but Joe Phillips is Auburn until it's not. Until he's not.
I'm agreeing.
I'm 50-50 on it right now.
Oh, okay.
I think Georgia's really got his ear. Now, at the end of the day,
yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Jhead.
Yeah, I like the proximity to home. I think that plays in our favor. I think that Joe Phillips is a family type kid, so I think if we can keep him from committing quickly, because that's the thing, Georgia's striking right now while the iron's hot. If they can turn the heat on, I think they can get him in the class. They could get him in the class. So I'm 50-50 right now on it. If we can get into July and get him back on campus, I'm going to feel a lot better about this situation. But right now, I think it could go either way. I honestly do. That's what my gut's telling me on that one.
Javonte Waller, Cole.
I heard just a little bit about how it's going this weekend. He's at Auburn on his official visit right now. I think Auburn's in it a little bit more than we maybe gave it credit.
Maybe.
Yeah, because he blew up so fast. He's one of those guys that just had that quick rise, and he said, look, I got to check all these. I'm going to give everybody a fair chance. First of all, the fact that Auburn gets an OV from him is important.
Yes.
And second of all, I think Ron Roberts is a big deal here. He does coach the Jacks for Auburn. For those that don't know, he is the defense coordinator, but he specifically coaches the Jacks. And he was the one that went and saw Javonte the very first time and offered him. And I think he's been really consistent. And he always mentions Ron Roberts. So I think Auburn's kind of in this. Maybe Penn State, Oregon. It's really hard to tell who else is in it.
I think an unofficial top 4 right now of Auburn, Florida, Georgia, and Penn State. Those are the 4 that they're competing for his signature right now, with Ole Miss being an outside as you know what I mean, you can't discount an in-state school, but I would say they're running 5th right now, to the best of my understanding. And I do think Penn State's probably the leader in the clubhouse. Now we'll see what he says coming out of his Auburn official visit, because things could have changed. This is where Frederick's intel is interesting, because if Joe Phillips were to commit to Georgia, that changes the dynamic there for the need for Jamonte Waller. So maybe they fade some. And now it's Auburn competing against Florida and Penn State. I don't know where he sits on Florida's board. I'm sure it's pretty high. But, it could get interesting there, contingent on what happens with Joe. And maybe you can get both of them. I truly don't know right now. I tend to believe it's either one or the other. I don't believe you're going to get both, but I don't know that either. And we would be hard-pressed to find 2 better jacks in this class if you could land both of those guys. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Cam Pruitt, the linebacker from Theodore, if we don't have anything on him, I'm going to make it a priority for myself this week to get something on this kid, whether it's from, somebody at Auburn that can tell me where he sits on the board, if at all. Maybe we can get something from Cam to see what's going on in his recruitment. I don't know much about him right now. I know that this is the second time that he's asked me, and I failed him the first time, so I will make that a priority.
I've talked with Cam on the phone
Okay.
once or twice, I think. He did tell me that he was going to possibly take an official visit to Auburn. I think Miami's really high for him. And Auburn supposedly likes him at safety.
Huh.
Well, or nickel.
Yeah, as a star.
Yeah, something like that. One of those specialized positions, because he's sort of a tweener there between linebacker and safety, but he could be an interesting type player for Ron Roberts' defense.
6'2", 185.
Yeah, they're thinking he could play probably a little north of 200 and be kind of like a Robinson Threese type. That star player could play.
Robinson Threese. That's who I think of when I hear star.
Yeah, because that was the star position in Ellis Johnson's defense.
Yeah, it's the only time we've had it, right?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, they've called it the star before. That's what Steele called it at times.
Yeah,
he called it the star, but it was more of a slot nickel.
Let's see, Cam Pruitt. How about numbers on offensive line, defensive line? Fredericks, I put the hot board up Friday, but man, I'm just winging it on those numbers. I'm thinking, tackles, at least 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5 total on offensive line. So 2
at least
tackles,
3 interior guys,
2 to 3 on the interior. So 4 to 5. And then Frederick, are you talking true defensive line where you're talking about, 5 tech to 4 eye with a nose in the middle, or are you
everybody but the jack?
Yeah. Are you talking everybody but the jack? Or are you talking jacks included?
Yeah, everyone but the jack.
Okay. I would say 4 on the defensive line, given the attrition we're going to have after this year. So I got 4 to 5 on the O-line, 4 on the D-line. Or that's my expectation anyway.
Okay, and one other thing. Are we recruiting Demarcus Riddick for a jack or true inside linebacker?
Inside.
That's what I remember.
But this is the guy that can – I mean, they see him as a do-it-all guy.
Whatever he wants to hear.
Yeah.
They're recruiting him as.
Exactly.
And let me say this.
I heard that this official visit that he has coming up is going to be crucial because I don't see him sticking with Georgia.
Yeah.
Especially if they take Phillips as well.
What'd you say there at the end?
I said, especially if Georgia take Phillips, I don't see Demarcus Riddick sticking with Georgia.
Yeah, I don't see him sticking with Georgia regardless. Let me go back to Phillips and say this. I feel the same way about Cam Coleman, and this is why those 2 guys are so important to this class. Yes. Auburn, Hugh Freeze, you cannot not sign Joe Phillips. He cannot sign with anybody but Auburn. There is no other option. You want to flip the script. You can't let the kid down the road at the most important position of need, and as well as the other kid right down the road at the other most important position of need, sign with anybody else. Cam Coleman and Joe Phillips have to sign with Auburn. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Jeffrey, I think the reason I'm with you, like almost on the exact same wavelength on that, is because I get some comfort, I guess, in trying to make a prediction with those 2 guys and saying Auburn, because if they feel like they're slipping with Cam Coleman or Joe Phillips, they're going to do something about it. They're not just going to let it happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something where they go, oh, well, Georgia's got the momentum. No, they will take precautions. They will do what they have to do to make sure that those turn back in their favor.
And I'm just
I really
waiting.
believe that.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see that move from Auburn with Phillips, because I do think that Georgia absolutely made their case this weekend, and I think Auburn's going to need to make a counter move here pretty quick.
Imagine being Georgia and coming over here with this kid right up the road, the most important position needed for Auburn on offense. This is probably the number one priority on defense. The number one priority on offense is Cam Coleman down the road. Imagine Georgia going, well, I don't give a shit. I will come in there and I'll take him from you. Or you will spend a big portion of your your earmark
chest. Yeah.
Yes.
I promise you, those are the kind of things that Hugh Freeze's personality, he'll lose sleep over that kind of thing.
So you talked about Hugh Freeze doing that to Alabama. That's Kirby doing the same thing to Auburn.
100% it is.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Frederick. We appreciate that call. Frederick, call back in, man. Hey, get some good scoop this weekend.
Okay. Hey, Jhead.
What's up, buddy?
That Foley guy coming.
No, I like it.
What did he say?
Foley guy. He said the Foley guy.
Listen.
Is that Perry?
Yeah. If we flip Perry, I'm tweeting, say Freeze stuff Saban in the locker. Okay. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Put Frederick's 90 stuff, Freeze.
Right, go ahead and get that tweet in your draft.
Oh, I love it, Frederick. I love it, man.
He's visiting June the 16th, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
Next weekend, I believe.
Yep.
Or weekend after.
Friday week.
Yeah, because he's got Bama this weekend, and then he finishes with Auburn, and then from who I've talked to, it sounds like he might have a final sort of decision in a way after that.
He leaves Bama on Sunday and cancels his Auburn visit on Monday. I think that's how his visit's set up.
No.
Nah, just messing with
Hey, if he even arrives for the Auburn visit, something.
If that happens, I'm gonna say Nick Saban stuff Frederick 90 in the locker. If not, Frederick, I'm gonna put you stuff in Nick Saban in the locker.
There we go. I like that.
We need to get Johnny Knox 07 on this.
Oh yeah,
I agree. That requires his artistic talent right there.
Yep.
Frederick 90, buddy, you're always welcome here, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate your loyalty on the website, on the corner. You're fantastic, man. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother. Call back in, please.
Okay, buddy.
Good stuff.
7254. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Clayton from Carrollton, Georgia.
Oh yeah, Clayton from Carrollton.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing tonight?
Home of 4-star tight end
Caleb Odom.
And future number one player in the country, Juju Lewis. Got to always mention him.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Is he 2026 or 25?
26, isn't he?
He's 2026.
Yeah, I know he was young.
But I'm calling.
Hey, listen, Clayton, hold on. I'm so sorry, dude.
Oh, my bad.
No. I'm just saying this. We'll stop the show for a second. Just pause. That kid's about to commit. Cole. Chancellor Anthony is about to commit. Let me see if I can post this from here without interrupting the show.
I might mute.
Well, if you need to drop out, Jeff, we can roll with it.
Yeah. Let me do that, and then I'll trot back on here. How about that? Okay, cool.
All right, Clayton, go ahead, brother.
All right. So I was just wondering, out of this incoming freshman class, not named Falker Lee, who could you see making the All-SEC freshman team? And then out of the incoming transfer portal class, who could you see making the All-SEC team? So that was it. And y'all have a good night, and War Eagle.
War Eagle, brother.
So not Falk or Lee.
Yes.
Making the all-freshman team. I mean, my mind goes to Connor Lew, but
I'm going to go with Deron Reed, brother.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was mine.
Wow, why did I not have that one?
I don't know, Cole. You've been seeing that drawn for a while, dude.
Well, I'm thinking, let's just say, you hope this, if something happens to Avery Jones.
Yes.
And you have to have Connor Lew come in. I mean, look, you got a good situation at center right now.
I agree.
So Connor Lew would be my pick if that were to happen, but definitely Deron Reed if I think he's going to be anyway.
Okay, All SEC from the transfers.
That's a tough one because
Hooks.
SEC is always loaded.
I'm gonna go with St. Hooks. Or here's maybe Austin Keys. I really like Austin Keys, man. He's pretty good.
I'm going to go with Jalen McLeod because if he hits right on the outside and he gets the sack numbers that he's capable of, you could absolutely see. But Austin Keys is a really good pick, and he's going to be a starter at the mic, and he's going to be very productive.
Yeah,
I don't know if everything comes together.
I'll go outside the box. I'll go Dylan Wade.
That's a good one.
Very good pick.
I think he's going to have a really, really solid year on the offensive line, and if the offense at Auburn takes a step forward, I think he could get that attention, especially if he grades out well in terms of Pro Football Focus, all that kind of stuff.
I think he's a day 2 NFL pick.
I agree. I mean, it is obviously is probably an interior guy in our offense. He's a tackle, but
yeah.
Now remind me, for all SEC performers, when they do offensive line, do they do tackles and then go interior players, or do they just do the 5 best offensive linemen?
They do tackles, interior, and center, I believe.
Okay, do they? I didn't know if they
at least try to. They label it O-line, and it's usually split like that. I guess I haven't always double checked that, but usually it's center, 2 guards, and then 2 tackles.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I like that Dylan Wade pick. I think that's a good one, Zach.
That's a very good pick.
All right, we'll keep this thing rolling. 0311. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Rob in Valdosta.
What's up, buddy?
How we doing?
How's it going, man? What's on your mind?
I was curious what's up with J.D. Rim as he recovered from his injury.
It's a good question. The last time I saw him, he looked pretty healthy to me. But, I don't know. It's hard to say until they get back to fall camp. From what I understand, he was supposed to be ready to go for that.
Yeah.
And they're hoping he is. And there it is. Champ Anthony committed. So, yeah, they're hoping it is.
I hope he does well.
Yeah, I mean, he should be in the rotation this 2023 season, no doubt.
Well, I appreciate you taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Buddy.
All right.
5960. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, my goodness.
What's up, buddy?
Oh. Hey, I'm man. Y'all doing all right?
Oh, we still here, brother. We waiting for you to ask that first question, man, or tell us what you want to talk about tonight.
Y'all waiting on me.
Yeah.
I'm just listening, man. I'll throw a couple names out there on the offensive side. I think can make all SEC. I like Rivaldo Fairweather.
Okay.
And I like Shane Hook. I love myself from Shane Hook, man.
Yeah.
I believe he in the right system. Shane Hook got NFL talent, man. I know he's coming from a lower division of football, but I believe his talent gonna translate well to what Hugh Freeze want to do in his offense.
We're on the same page there, Edward.
Oh, we got Edward?
Yeah, man. Kid Country made it.
Mr. Jeffrey Lee.
Hey.
He knew you called, Edward, so he had to jump back in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he knew I was coming back. He knew I was going to call. He jumped back in.
Have you opened up?
I like Rivaldo Fairweather and Shane Hook, man. I like those two as potential all SEC players, man. I like that. I like McLeod on that defense.
I think Cole does too. Jhead does too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Edward.
McLeod on defense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities on the defense side of the ball. My guy from Kentucky to transfer. I mean.
Oh, Justin Rogers. That's a good one. If he plays up there, Edward, you're right.
Yeah.
Cole loves some McLeod.
Oh, McLeod got that juice coming off the edge. That's what we've been missing, man. Just somebody that can put some pressure on the opposing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need.
Hey,
I
Edward.
don't need no sponsorship, man. I got Country Kitchens finna open up in Otagoville, Alabama.
That was my next question. When do you open it up?
I want to promote my business on your show. I want to be a sponsor, man. Who I need to talk to?
I got you, big dog. Well, hey, listen. First of all, Edward, have you set an opening up yet? Have you set a date?
No, I'm working on some things, and I'm trying to push for about the third week of this month. If not, it'll be July, but it's coming soon, man. I got a few things I got to get taken care of on the health department side to get everything up to par like I needed to be, and it'll be off and running in, man.
We're gonna come down there. I'm gonna come down there and make sure you got good internet, man. I'm gonna do the show from the Country Kitchen, baby.
Man, come do the show live from Country Kitchen.
Yeah,
come do that.
We can do that, Edward.
We'd love to.
I'm gonna get off, man, and listen to the rest of the call, listen to the rest of the show, man. Y'all guys have a good night, man.
Appreciate you, Edward. Always, big dog.
Love you, brother.
Appreciate y'all, fellas.
Yes, sir. Edward from Selma. Golly, you don't get much better than that, do you?
No, you don't, man. Good dude, brother. Good dude.
I'm sorry, Zach. So, were y'all covering this? Chancellor Anthony has committed Auburn.
Well, Cole did the fist pump, said he committed, and then disappeared. And Edward was on the line, and you popped right back on.
Okay.
We have not fully discussed it just yet.
Okay. Well, we talked a little bit about him. We'll keep going with the phones. That we might come back around to him anyways.
Yeah, we get in the show with it.
There you go.
4003. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Carter Malden from Brookhaven. I was just calling to see. Y'all may have already talked about this, but I just started tuning in. I was hoping to see if there's an update on Daniel Calhoun and where y'all think we might stand. I really do think that this guy is going to be a star, and I think that would be a major flip the script move if he committed to Auburn.
Completely agree, Daniel Calhoun. Carter, you get married?
No, we hadn't gotten married yet. Our wedding is March 30th.
Oh, you still got time, big dog.
Yeah, oh yeah, man.
You need to stop listening to us, that's for sure. Cole's the only one who's had any success with that matrimony stuff.
Oh yeah.
What y'all talking about me or something?
Carter from Brookhaven, he got engaged.
Yeah.
I asked him, he's not getting married till March. And I said he probably don't need to talk to us. Neither. I don't think either one. I know Zach and he's too young, but I think me and Jhead are combined 0 for 2. Daniel Calhoun, Cole, is the question Mr. Carter has, and he's got an official visit set to Auburn. I think it's the 16th.
Yeah.
He is from Roswell, Georgia. Walton High School, which is the alma mater of Miss Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. Give her a call, folks. 334-704-4442.
Nice.
And she was a 5-star.
Absolutely. Just like him, is he not?
He's right close to it.
All across the board, right?
That's right. Hey, June the 12th, dude. Another big-time dude coming for that June the 12th.
Yeah, so that's another midweek there, right?
That's that Monday.
Yeah. Interesting.
That is a monster week because you got Monday to Wednesday with that group of official visitors, and then you start again on Saturday with another massive group of another 7 guys.
That 16th is going to be quality and quantity.
Yeah, because you've got Perry Thompson coming in, Justin Green coming in. Who else? Keep me honest, guys.
Oh boy.
On the 16th?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Hang on.
On 3 has Calhoun listed as coming on the 12th.
Yes, Calhoun's coming on the 12th, and then we were talking about the 16th.
Yes, 16th is going to be Perry Thompson.
Yes.
Justin Green.
Casey Poe.
Preston Talmua.
Yes.
Kevin Haywood.
Yes.
Jamison Riggs.
Yes.
Talk about O-line pride, baby.
My goodness. And Walker's not going to be able to come. I told you that.
Ah, man, that's tough. But, yeah, I mean, he's got things going on.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, Clayton from Carrollton, remember? I just noticed while I got off to post the commitment story that Caleb Oden has received a crystal ball from Steve Wilfrong at 24/7. Crystal ball to Alabama.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
They lost their top 2 tight end targets to Georgia, and I knew they started to press with Odom. So I think Amir Jackson, here we come, hopefully.
Amir Jackson.
Carter Nelson's another guy they're working on.
From up in Nebraska.
There was another guy I posted about Salamanca.
Salapega, something like that.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Salapica.
I tell you what, I really do think Ben Egamau is going to have he's going to have a nice little addition to go with Martavis Collins.
Have you ever talked to him, Cole?
Oh yeah.
He is awesome, dude.
He's fantastic.
I want to get him on a show one day with us. I would love to talk to him.
He is awesome. He's got some great insight on Hugh Freeze, and we talked to him, during the spring when they were having the roundtable stuff with us. But I've talked to him personally. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He thinks that Caleb Odom. He thinks he's got some good things going there. We'll see. He is going to officially visit. That's a freshly set up official visit for Auburn. So
yes,
it'll be interesting.
Amir Jackson supposed to be coming in for that Georgia State I forgot. I posted it the other. I think it's Georgia or Stanford.
Yeah, Georgia or Stanford. One of those 2 weekends, and that's a really big one. And look, I've watched a lot of tape of a lot of different tight ends, just trying to get my head wrapped around who we're going to recruit this position. And Amir Jackson is an elite athlete. Now he's not a refined tight end just yet, but you're talking about a guy that you can put into the slot as an attached Y and could really do some nasty things up the seam and be a mismatch nightmare against safeties and linebackers. He's that guy for you. He's probably a more raw version of what Rivaldo Fairweather is right now. So definitely a guy to keep your eye on and somebody that I'm extremely high on. I think Florida State, Florida, and Miami have all been in the running thick with him. So the Florida schools all showing interest. And he's got some other teams along with Auburn that are also in the mix. But I think he's a long way away from making a decision, which I think also helps us with that timeline.
I think there was a bunch of teams that shifted their focus toward him. So it would be a big win because I know Tennessee missed out on Jalen Riddell, and they brought Amir in the next week for a visit. So they're shifting their focus. There was a lot of people who missed out on their top target, and now he was number 2 on a lot of people's board.
Absolutely.
You talking about Amir?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry. I was trying to catch up, man. A lot was going down today. Yeah,
it is.
Hey, this is June.
Just wait for tomorrow.
Listen. This is a good opportunity. Hey, if you're not a member to Auburn Live on 3, we've got a fantastic special. Listen, if you've been thinking about trying it and you didn't want to commit $4 or $5 a month, fantastic opportunity right now. If you've never joined, go to Auburn Live on 3. It's $1. Is it $1 for 3 months?
3 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, I think it's $9 or something. Or you can just go ahead and give them $50, and it'll take you for a whole year. Either way, man, $1 for 3 months right now. And listen, June is going to be packed with recruiting intel.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen that last weekend fill out just yet. And I guarantee you, we're going to have people in that weekend.
And then think about the July, Big Cat, the end of July.
Yeah.
And then it's going to carry you right on into to 2 days. I don't have 2 days anymore, but summer camp, fall 20. I don't even know how they do it anymore. They used to do 2 days in the summer and then fall.
They might bring it back with those air-conditioned helmets now. You never know.
Yeah, so they do 2 days, but one of them is a padded practice. The other was a walkthrough.
I truly believe. I'm sorry. I truly believe if you wear an air-conditioned helmet, you will not last in the SEC. I truly believe it. That is ridiculous, guys.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous. You tell them, Cole, that's something Brian Kelly brought from Notre Dame. Tell me to take that back north.
LSU's going over.
In the words of
over this year.
From the north, I'm from the south.
I told him, I said, that's that Livy Dunn money.
Ooh.
That ain't no football money. That's Livy Dunn type money.
And they got Angel Reese there. And
that's right.
Players, so they're killing it with NIL.
NIL, yes. Most marketable players. Livy Dunn, solid 6, no doubt. Anybody else, Zach?
Yeah, we got 3 more.
Okay.
5002. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, love your show. War Eagle. I'm in. It's Mike King from Titusville, Florida, and I've tried to look this up. I can't find any information on it, but I know Jarquez Hunter is a huge weapon for us.
Yep.
What is the update on him? Is he going to be playing the first game? Is he suspended, or what's up with him?
Mike from Titusville, Florida, wants to know about Jarquez Hunter. Now, listen, Hugh was finally asked about this publicly the other day. Do you have any players that are suspended? Because this university issued a statement, only at Auburn, folks. The university voluntarily issued a statement saying that there are multiple. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jhead. This is not this is not verbatim, but basically they said there are players that are indefinitely suspended.
Wasn't it something like
I think they said
suspensions that have happened or something like that?
Yeah, suspensions meaning plural, which would indicate multiple players. So there was some.
And we're talking about football players, right? I mean, that are on the team.
Yes.
They never clarified.
Right. Yeah, they left it very vague, and I think they did that on purpose. So
correct.
We don't know for sure. Yeah,
I would say that it is a safe assumption to say yes, football players. Who they are, they never said. I think, and I don't want to speak for everybody on this panel. I would love for Jeffrey and Cole to comment on this. From what I've heard, there is some optimism with regard to Jarquez being able to play this fall, and I'll leave it at that. I don't think I can say anything beyond that as far as knowing anything definite, but there is some optimism that Jarquez will be eligible this fall.
I absolutely completely agree, Mike. My sources have said for the last week or two, maybe Jarquez was one of the guys who has been suspended indefinitely. I don't think that's a hot take at all. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying, "Oh my God, I think he might be one of them."
Right.
But I also have been told there's some optimism here. The disciplinary action, if any, will be minimal, in my opinion, to what maybe was hinted at when it first dropped, which was he's gone. Or that's what some of the rumors were, right?
Sure.
So I think I think maybe he misses a game. Maybe I can't imagine it being much more stiff than that.
And how are we looking? I mean, just the first game. How are we looking without him?
Dude, I could play halfback and Auburn would win by 30.
because it's UMass. Look, this is kind of like Mercer last year. You know what I mean? In fact, I would say Mercer's a better football team than UMass, if we're being completely honest. This is a slam dunk, tune them up type game that they're going to be able to feed whoever's in it running back 40 times, and not tip their hand as to what they plan to do. And we should beat UMass.
You might see a little bit of Sean Jackson.
I would hope so. Sean deserves some carries, man.
He should have 100 yards if you.
He's a damn good back.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I think.
Did anybody notice me showing my age by saying halfback? Like,
yeah.
Zach was like, "What the hell?
Say anything, bro?
What the hell's halfback?"
I will say, I think Sanford is a tougher game.
To the Cal game, we're still good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so. And Zach, I agree.
I think we're not having.
Hey, man, thank you guys. Love your show. Watch you guys pretty much every day. I'm subscribed, but I am going to go ahead and pick up the. You guys have a discount now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
$1, Mike.
Love you. Carry on, and War Eagle.
Much appreciate you, big dog. Means a lot to us, man. Means a lot to us. Appreciate you, Mike, from Titusville.
9485. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? It's David from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. And full disclosure, I'm an App State grad.
All right.
Okay. Bumming me that Jalen McLeod has left App State, but I've been in Auburn for my entire life. I will also admit that I'm an Auburn optimist, which means that I've been burned quite a few times. And so my optimism is I show my optimism for the year. I've got a question, but I've got a couple comments before. One, I think the run game is going to be elite. I'm really excited about that. Two, the quarterback play with Peyton Thorne coming in is going to be better because I go back 2 years and look at the success he had when Kenneth Walker was at Michigan State. So I think he's a better quarterback when he has that run game behind him. I love Hugh Freeze. I love the scheme. So I think the RPO is with play action is going to be pretty cool. My question is, of all of the rooms, which one in today's SEC, depth is the issue. So which room are we most worried about in terms of depth?
That's a fair question, David. I know he's some beautiful country up there in Kings Mountain.
Sure is. Sure is.
Concern, Jhead, rooms, positions, depth.
As far as depth goes, I'm going to say cornerback probably scares me the most just because the depth that you have is all very, very young. So to me, that's always a little bit scary. I would say top end talent scare me. It's the defensive line. I'm a little worried that beyond Justin Rogers, you don't have a top 3 round pick in that room. Now they've thrown a lot of bodies at that situation, and a good rotation can probably keep guys fresh, and maybe you're getting the top end of what you're getting more often than not. But that scares me. The DL, if that doesn't gel the right way, that one scares me a little bit. But as far as overall depth, it's the cornerback room because of the youth there.
What about quarterback?
I like the depth in the quarterback room. I'm going to be honest.
Peyton Thorne gets hurt, you're good?
It's definitely improved, isn't it? Not just Peyton Thorne, Hank Brown too. I mean, you don't want him playing, but he is part of the depth. And Holden.
So to me, I look at other SEC rooms by comparison, Jeffrey, and probably the only other room that I might trade Auburn's situation for, Alabama's is completely unproven.
Sure. I
would look at LSU's room with the 2 guys that they've got on their roster. That is a really, really solid foundation. Tennessee's got a good situation, and Georgia. Those are the teams to me that probably have, and I would rank Auburn right there, right behind those 3. I would say Auburn is a top 4 quarterback room because of what Robbie was able to accomplish last year. He's got SEC level, experience underneath his belt. Now you're bringing in Peyton Thorne, a guy that threw for over 3,000 yards 2 years ago, over 30 plus touchdowns, I believe. So major production in that room, and proven production. But probably those are the top 3 rooms that you would look at right now, and then Auburn would riding in right there at number 4. So I do like the depth there.
Okay. I like it. Good stuff, David. We appreciate you, man.
We're caught up on calls. We got about 10 questions if you guys want to run through a lightning round.
Yeah, let's do a little lightning round right here to close it out, man. We had a fantastic show. Man, we got some cool colors. All right, let's hit it. Kilgore. Oh, Kilgore, big dog. Reset. Yes, Kilgore. This was what I was alluding to this at the first of the show. He wanted us to reset the wide receiver board with Marsh gone to PSU. Who are the top 4 current targets? Obviously, Cam, Coleman, Perry, Thompson. That we get both. I agree. Although Fredericks might disagree.
Yep.
Do you see 2 in-state kids rounding out the 3 signees? Wrote about this in the hot board on Friday. You've got Malcolm Simmons. You've got Bryce Kane. Yeah. You've got Cam Coleman. You've got Perry Thompson. You've got
Mario Craver, maybe.
Mario Craver. All in-state.
Yeah. That's crazy. And those are you could do pretty well getting a combination of 3 of those guys.
I had it at 3 to 4, and I said, shit, man, you can fill out those spots from in-state. You don't have to leave the border.
No, and then you've got a sleeper from Georgia that we just offered as well.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Johnson.
Gibson.
Ricky Johnson, isn't it?
I think it's Ricky Johnson.
I think Ricky Gibson was the corner last year who signed with Tennessee or something.
Yeah. From Hewitt Trussell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I liked what I saw from him. He's very polished on tape, good speed. I think they're going to want to bring him in for camp to see a little bit more. But speaking of Bryce Kane, he had a hell of a day the other day at the Alabama camp.
Sure did.
Running the 40.
What did he run?
He ran a 4.37. I think that was the personal best.
Great day in the morning.
He's putting on some highlights there against some of the better DBs in all of high school football because Alabama brings in the best of the best for their camps. That's what they do.
Yep.
And he put on a showing, so which makes me think good thing for us. We ID'd him early, got in there early. I think if that's the direction you choose to go, that's going to be a quality prospect.
Ole Miss is on him. Florida,
yes.
I think Ole Miss. Florida was Mario Craver.
Yes.
A lot. Hey, listen, when I watch Bryce Kane, I don't watch a lot of like y'all do, but I watched his videos from Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
I even posted on. I was like, dude, it doesn't take. I'm amateur, and I can tell you that dude's good. He's really good. Honestly, you know what? He looks like an Alabama wide receiver. Like
he reminds me a lot of Kobe Prentice that went to Alabama from Calera. Real similar recruitment, it seems like too.
Yep, very much a sleeper. And Bryce's deal is he was more of a baseball player up until last year. I think last year was his first year of varsity football, and Zach would know better than most of us.
Yeah,
since that's a Baker High School football player right there.
Oh yeah,
but
there's something to the baseball players.
I agree.
Colton Hood.
Yeah, something to two-sport athletes, period, because they haven't hit their ceiling. You're not worried about that, and obviously most of them had good hand-eye coordination as well. But I think the thing with him is smoothing out his route running. You can tell he's still a little bit raw there and how they used him last year, but the speed and the physical tools are there, and there's a smoothness to his game and to his hips that you don't see with a lot of guys. And I can see where he could be a real mismatch as a slot wide receiver.
Gracie wants to know about the JUCO 6'9", 340-pound offensive tackle from was it Holmes, Mississippi Community College?
Holmes County, yeah.
Holmes County Community College, a big JUCO offensive tackle. He came for an official visit 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was trying to get in this to a late edition of the 2023 class. I can't even think of his name.
Markel Bell.
Yeah. There you go. But no, Gracie. Listen, I communicated with him very often. He had come to Auburn. He was going to Ole Miss. He was going to Mississippi State. Then he was going to make a decision. And before he even made it to Mississippi State that next weekend, we started hearing. I think Jhead might have heard first that he was just going to stay at JUCO and come out next year as a member of the 2024 class. He cut off communication with me, which is very unlike him. So I'm guessing he's all. And then Auburn, of course, tonight filling up with Chancellor Anthony. So I would think yes, he's off the board. Noah, why haven't we pursued Kylan Fox at tight end?
Isn't he committed to Florida State, or Florida State's in with him?
I think he's still open. He's got a lot of big schools. He's a big prospect from Grayson, where Owen Papo went to school. I just don't think there was ever any traction there, to be honest.
That's the first I've heard his name, and I feel like I've had a pretty good little needle on tight end recruitment, and that's his name has not come up. It was Landon Thomas. It was Landon Thomas before it was any of these guys. Caleb Oden,
Amir Jackson.
Yeah, it appears that's going to be an elite class for Florida State. Kylan Fox is currently predicted to them, and they've also got Landon Thomas in that class. So
tight ends, man, like Georgia, stacking them like Georgia is.
Apparently so.
Blake, OBR. How much is NIL playing Joe Phillips potentially picking UGA over Auburn? It's really tough to say.
I mean, what I was referring to earlier when I said if Auburn feels like they're slipping with him, I'm not necessarily referring to NIL, but I kind of am at the same time. I think that anybody getting offered money is going to go, well, yeah, I'm not going to turn it down. You know what I mean?
No.
So, yeah, I think it plays a factor, but I also think being close to home is a factor, and having all your family there at Auburn is a big factor.
I do.
And if you're also going to get a good NIL deal from Auburn, to go along with that.
I'm trying to, maybe I'm giving too much credit to OTV, but it'll always stay with me that Brett Whiteside, when he did an interview with us, was like, our goal is to make sure the NIL is not an issue if a kid chooses elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hold true to that, or at least hold him to his word. So I'm going to say that's why I'm Joe Phillips is to Auburn until he's not.
Yeah.
Eric May, does Joe Phillips, popular guy tonight, does Joe Phillips have an OV set with us? He does not yet. The only thing we know of is Georgia, and he went there this weekend. We'll check in with him again this week, because I guarantee you Auburn's trying to get his butt up to campus as soon as possible. Cole or Jay Lee going to be at the Auburn camp tomorrow for coverage, I believe.
I will, yes.
Cole, there's an elite camp tomorrow. I'll probably make an appearance up there if I can get away from this moving situation, which I'd be glad to do at this point. Brooke, JE1485. Any update on KJ Bolden? Chad had something on him, didn't he?
Yeah. So, I was going to say Chad Simmons, On3 director of recruiting, he put out that KJ Bolden was now going to push his decision back a little bit. Yes. And I don't think he had a date, but he was trying to get it done after his June official visits. Well, he's going to be taking his official visit to Auburn in September, which was by design by Hugh Freeze. He wanted that last one, and that's what KJ Bolden told Keith Niebuhr, and we reported. So Yeah, that's a big update that he's going to hold off on that commitment until he takes that Auburn official visit. I think that's a huge update.
And
Okay.
Chad also said Auburn is officially in this race. I think he put
did.
us as a top 3 team.
Yeah.
If Chad says that, you better pay attention.
Yeah,
will he get past Georgia or Ohio State?
I don't think so
Probably not.
right now, but maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's June, right? And if the kid's not going to make a decision until after he visits us, maybe. But that's just hard to imagine. The number 1 player in the state of Georgia coming to Auburn, not named Takeo Spikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can count on my hand. I mean, I can count on my hand the number of times that we've landed the number 1 player in the state of Georgia. And I think Derek Brown, Takeo Spikes are the only 2 that come to mind, if we're being completely honest. And maybe Derek wasn't even the number 1. We probably bumped him out of it, if we're being honest.
Let's see. Jackson Hall, Chancellor Anthony, who just committed to Auburn, posted a video with a DJ Barber committed graphic. Did that happen?
Yeah, he posted it accidentally tonight. Apparently, is what the Tyler Justice said the same thing. Apparently, Auburn sent it to him, and he accidentally posted it.
Oh shit! Really? Did anybody get that saved?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I didn't.
If you're in the chat, DM Jay Lee if you have it.
I always miss the good stuff, man.
It's not there because I checked when I saw that comment. It's not
that's
there.
A big mistake.
Boy, don't you know?
Hold on. So DJ Barber had a commitment video or like a graphic?
Graphic
is what
DJ
said.
Barber sitting there like committed, right? In the Auburn year.
Yeah.
And they sent it to Anthony.
Yes.
And Anthony posted it thinking it was
yes.
Ah! Oh, come on, Auburn video team. I mean, they did the Buckies, right? I was gonna give them a pass for that Buckies. I mean,
that set off social media. That was hilarious.
Listen, man.
I mean, if your job is to make waves, and
Tyler just sent it to you. He said it was a video.
What did you do with TJ? You sent it. Okay, here we go.
Look at Jeffrey's face.
Oh!
Oh man!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, don't do it, Jeffrey. Take it down.
They misspelled Chance Anthony. That's awful. Hey,
listen, autocorrect, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
Oh man, no Caleb. Let's change the subject. How about that sky blue? What's y'all's game 1 starters on offense? I think that's a good question.
Yep. Curious
which transfer wide receiver will end up being that guy.
Okay.
Anthony Avery Jones at center.
Yes. Guards.
Jeremiah Wright and Cam Stutz for me.
I'll go Cam Stutz as well.
Cam Stutz, Jeremiah Wright.
Yep.
Tackles are Gunner and Dylan.
Yes.
Yeah. Tight end Rivaldo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Peyton.
Yep.
Yes.
Jarquez if he's available.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got Camden Brown and 2 more wide receivers, right?
I'm gonna go Shane Hooks, Jair Shorter, and Javarius Johnson. I'm trying to make
no Camden Brown.
No Camden Brown.
Okay.
As of today.
I'll go Camden Brown, Shane Hooks, and Javarius Johnson.
Okay.
And Damari also if Jarquez is not.
Yeah, it'd be Damari if it's not Jarquez.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's any question about that.
OD. Keep hearing about Burnett grades dipping with the scholarship. This would have been a fantastic question for Fredericks 90.
Yeah, it would have.
But because we've seen it on the message board about Jamarion Burnett. But I don't put a lot of stock into that stuff, especially when it comes to this stuff.
Well, you got an entire senior year to go. I mean,
Cole, when did the kid commit? Like February or March?
Yeah.
So, how bad could it have been in the past 6 weeks?
Yeah, right.
Not bad.
They took his commitment in March, and then all of a sudden they're ready to drop him 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
I don't fall for that, D.
No, not me either. I don't buy that one. And realistically, right now, why would you drop him when the the thing is, you can sign up to your 85, right? This may be the last year of doing that, but you can sign up to your 85, so you're not capped in any way. Why drop a kid that could potentially make the grades he needs to make his senior year to be eligible, and now you've got to run him back in your class? So I don't see Auburn dropping him or parting ways. If the kid ends up going to junior college, so be it. But I don't know anything about his academic standing as of right now that would make me think he's in jeopardy of not being.
Hasn't taken one class as a senior. Noah, this is a great question. Chance Robinson, the Miami commitment wide receiver, he's scheduling an official visit, I think, for this coming up weekend.
Yeah.
And I think he's still on the list, but he's kind of like Egan Boyer. I think when he scheduled this, was he committed at the time?
No, he was not committed.
He was not committed. So no, I would lean more towards no, but that's something we need to confirm this week, and we'll be doing that this week. Oh, Thomas Jones, what players do you think will represent Auburn at the SEC Media Days? I saw this question asked. This is a decent question because it's not ever who I think it's going to be. It'll be like it'll be Jeremiah Wright. So it's going to be a senior, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with Jason Jones. I think Jason's going to be one of those guys. I think he's a team leader. God, man.
I don't think it's going to be a transfer.
No, it's not going to be a transfer.
So on offense, who are you going to send? You're going to send, Jeremiah Wright's your only who else are you going to send?
Javaris
Johnson?
Maybe? Yeah, Javaris Johnson.
Yeah. Javaris Johnson.
Then he'll go.
Yeah, well, let's go Javaris Johnson, Jason Jones, and DJ James.
That was my pick.
Okay.
I like DJ James there.
It could be Jalen Simpson.
Yeah, I forgot about Jalen Simpson. Simpson's a good leader for this team.
Hey, I just got some scoop.
Me too.
Did you?
I did as well. I was going to tell you about it after the show.
Yep, we'll tease that for the recruiting show then.
Yeah. I want hot dog water. Oh, man. That brought back some daggum nasty memories. That's funny. But halfway seriously, if Jhead, Pink, Jaylee, and Zach play positions as walk-ons in football, where would they play?
Ooh, all right.
You mean like back 20 years ago, or right now?
Yeah, that's
trying to break out that Uncle Rico right now.
So let's go back to when we're 19. I was at peak athletic. I would have played. I would have been a slot receiver.
Nice.
Your height, a slot receiver, bro.
Back then I was about 5'11".
Are you? What did you hit 3 inches after high school?
Yeah, like
I didn't hit puberty till I was 24. I'm serious, dude. When I graduated high school, I was like 5'9", 150.
All right.
I went to Jacksonville State and became a man. I was like, I left there like 6'1", 205. Jackson, like the beach that way.
Funny.
And then 22, I was probably peak.
Okay.
I think Jhead is an inside linebacker.
Not even. Safety and running back.
Okay. So, you're a little
he ordered
Trey Smith.
He ordered that medium shirt. You can't play interior linebacker wearing a medium.
It's medium.
Yeah,
you got me on that one. Zach, OT.
Oh man, yeah, because that's what I was playing in high school.
There it is.
Going back, so but I went big. That like I was only 6'1" playing OT, so I'd had to move inside probably.
Yeah,
I'd move inside.
Yeah, the smart guy. They always put the nerd in the middle.
Yeah, that's true.
Please tell Reese Dismukes that next time you see him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Reese couldn't count backwards from 10. I only say that because I love it. All right, let's see. Is that it? Hot dog water? Is that all we had?
That's it. That was the last question.
Fantastic show, man. Fantastic show. 10 after 8. Hey, we appreciate everybody calling. Sky Underwood got us started. Bryson Beulah, Kevin, Anthony, Frederick from Frederick 90, Clayton from Carrollton. Oh, Edward from Selma. I think I left off at Carter and I came back at Edward.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you missed one in between.
You missed one caller in between. I don't remember.
Rob from.
Yes, Rob.
Yep, Rob from Titusville, right?
No,
Yes.
Mike was from Titusville.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rob was from
somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, Titusville though. I don't remember where in Florida.
He's Florida man. Rob the Florida man.
There we go.
I think Rob Cassidy. Remember that dude from Rivals? He always.
Yeah.
He's Florida man. Weird.
He was Florida man.
And David from Kings Mountain. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Hey, we'll be back. Let's say Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
For the recruiting show. Y'all go get subscribed to Auburn Live on 3, $1 for 3 months. You will not be disappointed. Go do it. We will be back Wednesday with the show. Again, if you're in Auburn or Opelika, Lee County, looking for a house, looking to sell your home, give her a call, folks. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. Man, she's fantastic. 5-star realtor. Give her a call. Tell her we sent you. Look for us Wednesday, folks. We will be back. We thank you for listening. We thank you for watching us. We certainly do appreciate it, man. For Pink, for Jhead, for Zach in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay out of that left lane.